So with this new moon, we do have a triple whammy. What? We've got the sun moving into the season of Aries, Saturn entered Pisces, and we have the spring equinox, and then we have Pluto moving into a new home 3 days later. New beginnings are on the horizon, forward thinking. It kind of feels like the Avengers, bravery, being a hero. It's as if we are on the beginning or being urged to start anew, feeling the energetic shifts. It often feels chaotic on the bridge of anarchy or crisis, with structures being somewhat kind of demolished, maybe a sense of urgency to rebuild it. That too reminds me of the bionic man or the bionic woman, where they can rebuild it to be better, faster. So with the energy of Aries in this new moon, it's an opportunity to see the light at the end of the tunnel, the cosmic highway. It's at a sensitive degree. What does one protect? What are our boundaries?
Inshallah and Ashe. Just checking if I'm multi-streaming. I thought I'd multi-stream into my Facebook group. But either way, blessings to you, my energetic beings. I love saying that out loud. Did you feel the energy of the Rar yesterday? What a superb energy day. Not only have we entered the new season around the sun, we're kind of in the streams of Ostara, the spring equinox. And to top it off, we have a new moon. So it really is like we're scrubbing the cosmic fields. So while I'm waiting for people to hop on to the show, join the live stream, listen to the replay, really taking a pause, a breath, a moment to climb into our skin. And welcome to a birthing of a new day before we travel around the sun. Building a new image, a new choreography. Today is all about securing our energetic boundaries, emotional boundaries, root-centered boundaries, physical empathy, things happening in the physical. All of this is stirring within ourselves. And the new moon has its energetic peak coming up really quite soon. So just check your time zone, listen into the Musing Moon meditation. It truly is the beginning of a new beginning, if you will, peaking and continuing this momentum. We are truly coming into a new skin, climbing out of our old skin. The snake is shedding, the caterpillar totally transmuting, probably the most alchemizing energy that we have ever experienced in our timeline. The totality of this universal package, and knowing that we are the gift. It's the all and the nothingness, the absolute light, cleansing the grid lines. Of course, if that is truly what you authentically want, we get to choose free will. But it really is scrubbing those auric fields, adding boundaries to each one of protection into each field. It is a truly bubbling, birthing energy, the spring equinox, Ostara, and now the sacred lucidity of a new moon. Blessings to all of us. And a ritual, if you are able to. I mean, I do have some snow skiff out there, but I'm still able to go out to do something to my fairy mound, Tingon, Timbaloo, going to my shrines of the otherworldly beings, visit my ancestors, have those Ostara conversations, all the things. Flowers are great, a great expression. Eggs. So if you want to know how to create your own cascara with your eggshells, it's actually quite simple. I could actually post how to do that. Just planting the seeds of our new imagery and intention. Usually it's always tulips, daffodils, things springing, bursting through the earth first, if you will. Mine's usually tulips. I don't have daffodils. But if you are really feeling more vibrationally vulnerable, you can even plant new you intentions as you kind of plant bulbs, if you will, or seeds. I myself may have to be more clever and plant them in a sacred indoor pot, if you know what I'm talking about, and maybe move them out into the earth during the next new moon, kind of sending the energy forward, if you will, the Merlin effect. We are going to get that double new moon during the season of Aries, this gathering around the sun. But really waters, the etheric waters of Pisces, do a pour into the season of Aries. For me, it's the snow. We could do this energetically, or we can do this consciously, and just setting the blooming intentions. You may even feel like chanting the loam, the root center, as you do your new moon ritual today. So some excitement is really happening. But with that, welcome to the Daily Snippet. Once again, I am your host, a practicing holistic shaman medium, an otherworldly life coach, and a subtle energetic surgeon, a reflector by design. I do go by the term holistic shaman medium, which is just a choreography emerging of them all. But my intention is to utilize the indigenous technologies, the elementals, the imaginal realm, our original divine blueprint to really navigate our soul's harmonic through these realms, activating some of them through dimensions, portals, gateways, and the cosmic highway with offerings, which is today is a great day for an offering, prescriptions and ritual, usually of the otherworldly kind, really connecting to the elemental or otherworldly realms, all of them, to really add to the juice, your main stage container of the origin. Rituals are the origin. They really are food for our soul, activating our personal medicine, our prime directive, gift, and purpose, so that our light shines even brighter. And cleansing our auric fields, I feel like, is a huge thing right now. That's what's been coming in for me for probably about a few weeks, if not a month. But with that, welcome to my virtual medicine room. I am the Tonya D. And if you have yet to subscribe to my channels, please do, YouTube or otherwise. My Musing newsletters even out there. Musing with Tonya D, my podcast, the season of Aries. Who am I inside of me? So before I go any further, I also like to give a shout out, a voice of acknowledgement and of recognizing that you've joined the village, the community of validation. That's the word I was going with. I like to just acknowledge people, new friends and guests that are arriving to my village, my show, new subscribers. So thank you, thank you, thank you. That's like Ashe, 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 which means blessings. And of course, those of you that have been a part of my journey since the beginning, it really does take a village, a tribe, a community, a gathering of like-minded souls. So just thank you. I just want to put that out there as well. And those of you that do tune into the replay later. And if you don't mind, of course, hitting the bell button so you're notified, along with the white rabbit, the white button, so you're notified. And remember, a comment if you do feel like you need a message for your day. I am doing daily messages starting on Mondays, just shifting it up a little bit. And just sharing is another way to pay it forward. And of course, you could also find me on other social channels, TikTok, Facebook, and Instagram, which I was just trying to go live on my Facebook, but the feed got funky. Gotta love that. Just remember, though, I am your otherworldly reflecting shamanic assistant. You truly are your own healer. But sometimes we do need an otherworldly life coach assistant, myself included, to get us out of our own magical way. And the daily snippet, what is this all about? It's about the cosmic energies, the planets, the insights, the moon by design. I do follow the energies of the moon, the lunar moon, through the gates, the seasons, through human design. It's kind of a thing for me. The moon just navigating through the season of Aries now, moving into another season. And the moon today is moving to peak, doing the cosmic dance with the sun. It's kind of chilling in a way, isn't it? The elementals, the four pillars. This is just a place where I elementally, if you truly have joined me in the Rising of the Origins, my free 5-day immersion, which is actually coming up again. I go over each of the elementals to bring them in, not just as an element itself, but the beings that are elemental that we can actually utilize to bring into or ground into to assist us in a variety of ways. And I also do a mystery guest on Sundays about these four pillars. So if you're curious there. And the subtle energies, the chakras, which ones are activated? So during the season of Aries, our root center is going to be online, just choreographing who we are through the entire season, getting a new image, if you will, getting a boost in that image, maybe shedding some skin in our imagery. And even again, our auric fields. So knowing that we have entered the season of Aries, the corridor of upgrading our ego, our physicality, our character, behaviors, action, even our defense aspects or mechanisms, our posture, our outer imagery, how the world outside of us sees us and reflects or shines back to us, just appearing anew. So this is a can-do kind of energy to make things happen. It's the good dad, the warrior, the hero, the sports energy, the sports dad kind of. So what's energetically encoded biologically down into our, I would say, our biorhythm, ancestrally with the root intentions of survival authentically. So it's kind of a tricky kind of topsy-turvy energy. It's like the pause in between the burst, I guess, kind of grasping between all of these fields. It's the birthing of a new, it's the journeyman, especially when we are moving into a path of ascension, soul improvement, growth. Maybe we're feeling triggered. So it's a growth period, witnessing people being triggered and really taking a breath. And when you witness that, just be compassionate as they are in their own growth period as well. I think we're all going to be feeling this energy, doing the work, mostly because Mars is moving, finally, moving forward out of Gemini. Hello. So most of the work is that of like going through a period of recalibrating our ego, our physicality, maybe getting a new wardrobe, really shedding the old skin and birthing anew. It reminds me literally of the birthing of the baby coming out of the womb, if you will. That's really what it feels like for me. But having higher intentions and the actions that we take to navigate the earth plane, because we're going to be going through some reconditioning, reprogramming, and our ego reactions within ourselves. So to me, it's not so much as the reprogramming, but the returning to our origins, the rising of our origins. Before the programming and the conditioning of this world actually began, I believe we were kind of birthed into this condition and this program. So we're kind of moving outside of it. It's the part of ourselves, our ego, that really reacts within ourselves, that has been termed the me self inside of us, who we are inside of us. It's the part of us that initiates and motivates, moves us to act upon something, and just harnessing or reining in our own personal strength and our generating willpower, defending ourselves for our own survival and safety. Having energetic boundaries, the me self, who am I? That is the core of this kind of Aryan energy frequency, entangled in the web of responses, the fight, flight, freeze, or foe. What do we do? So which, if during this expression, if we are aware, we kind of need to overcome through shifting the habits of a lifetime, a ritual, reprogramming, retraining habits of a lifetime, habits, create a habit of their own, take on a life of their own. So all of this conditionings of how we have been, or how are we treating ourselves. So it's really time to shift a habit of a timeline or a lifetime. And the first stage of the season is doing just that, especially with a new moon on top of it, a new habit in how we treat ourselves, our me self inside of ourselves, the voices even that we choreograph inside of ourselves. How am I treating myself in response into this reconditioning? So this energy is a line detector. If the line is crossed, or are you at a crossroads? And then the trigger becomes activated in your me self and responding, really taking a breath and a pause into the response. Myself, waiting 30 days as a reflector is seriously, it's something I always step back into. Just happened to me this morning, actually. But really just paying attention, be in kindness, be with the kindness, if you will, to what triggers you during and throughout the day into the morning. Where do you need to create a line within yourself? What is the appropriate line? And just learning where this line needs to be drawn, where the drawbridge needs to be not so much lowered, but maybe lifted, creating a sacred space. This is all in the choreography of who we are. Who am I being? Who am I becoming? So just a few announcements there. I do have a new podcast that landed last week in the Musing with Tonya D podcast. You can tune in on Apple, Spotify, or just go to my website. Ideas there. Stephanie Serone, she's great. Are you ready to access your genetic shit show? Just diving into our epigenetics, the divine feminine, and being authentic and really climbing into our skin. So if you are curious, or at least interested as well in being a mystery guest for my Sunday 4 Pillars and the Rising of the Origins, my private group on Facebook, be sure to join there as well. I'm also looking into other options to create an online community, a village. And the new moon meditation, have you listened in? Are you feeling the energy of it, like bursting anew? Recalibrating our root center, knowing we are safe, we are secure, putting us in the sacred space. You might want to add some orange or some red into your root chalice, your auric field. I'm kind of feeling the zones. The zones in the imaginal realm. Whole nother story there. But it's our actions, it's our ego, it's our character, it's our behaviors, and really setting boundaries around who am I really being? Who am I? So that's kind of the frequency energy of the day today. But Mongolia, that's also an opportunity if that's calling out to you. Magic in the mountains, an adventure of a lifetime, quite honestly. different. We're going to be choreographing this journey with some indigenous medicine people, traveling with 6 shamans. I'm so excited. So if you're interested, space is truly authentically limited. And again, we have Ostara. If you've watched the video, I did create that on Sunday, just welcoming in the Sabbath, birthing anew. There's also a fairly long meditation, so kind of be ready for that if you do tune in. And for today, so excited, the elemental energies. I did bring in the hour of the new moon. Took me a minute. The hour of the new moon, so we've got the snake energy there, but our day is a yang earth tiger of a day, a wu yin, and the tiger and the snake are the birthing energies of a new elemental. Tiger's the birth of fire, the snake is the birth of metal. So birthing of fire to our mountain is a resource, a support, mentor, a parent, somebody who assists us. And the birth of metal for our day is the child to a young earth day or a person. It's what we do, the performance, the intentions that we're going to be creating today. But our day is the mountain, and we do go to the mountain to tell the mountain our secrets, the earth. It's reliable, it's practical, it's sticking to the new intentions, its ideas, its principles, its people. And these ideas may be otherworldly, non-traditional, being seen differently. The tiger is a big tree on the mountain, more like a teenager birthing anew. In storage, we do have a mountain as well in the tiger. So our day is rooted, it is grounded. And the hour is full of spirit. It's a balance between fire, the yin and the yang of fire. It's producing our day. So energy is coming towards us. It's feeding us. And the water on the year, the yin water, is watering our mountain. It is a river, if you can just get all the choreography of this. But we have a great balance between the yin and the yang elementally. I would say metal would be a great elemental to bring in, minerals to clean up the forest, mowing the meadow, trimming it up. Just know yang metal is in storage, yang metal, and fire is able to forge it into a useful tool. I would really go with metal or water, inner peace, yin energy, peace. Bring peace to the cosmic round table, as well as contemplation, contemplating your intentions. And maybe we're able to come into our own personal power, the power of kindness. Be gentle with ourselves as we're navigating this new thread lines. The power is positive, it's optimistic, it's enthusiastic, it's innovative, revolutionary, it's gift and purpose. Just producing something out of having a kind heart, the kind of spirit. Options, we've got some options. So that's super exciting. Now, yesterday, if you tuned in, I did pull 4 cards for Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. I'll pull new ones on Friday for the weekend. But our message for today came from the undressing of the salad. So if you didn't tune into yesterday's, March 20th, you can listen to the whole navigation there. But undressing the salad for today, how to undress a salad. It's the balancing of all of the things, being in the center of our heart, the core of who we are, especially with this new moon. Like, who am I? And really setting the stage, the energetic boundaries, the red protective field, physical empathy in the physical world. And then redressing our salad with the new you and those energetic boundaries, the root centers being amplified and just living more harmoniously with who we are. Who am I? That's kind of what we need to be asking ourselves, and being in connection with nature, the cycles of nature, the balancing of who we are, and setting those boundaries, setting the stage. However, it is just worth remembering or acknowledging that out of chaos, that's when creator creates the miracles. It really is the cosmic line of faith, and just knowing that the greater universe, the God universe, whatever you want to call it, the great spirit, is really moving us where we ultimately belong, becoming who we authentically are in a season of nature already in the Dagara. Authenticity, our spiritual truth, its unity, its connection to the realms of the ancestors, the other worlds. It's also divine connection to the divine connection, the oneness. And the universe was created all in this cosmic way. But the 31 is loving and believing in those universal laws of what we are attracting, along with being a conduit with the universe, vibrating even higher, if you will. So just observe your energetic boundaries, your physical boundaries within yourself. And if you notice that you are being triggered, just pay attention to how and when, like what's happening in your circuitry in your channeling even? Is it being blown? If so, create a new pathway, disarm that energy, that frequency, and put yourself in that authentic sacred space and observe, be in observership, observing where your inner self is being triggered by different frequencies and energies, either of your own or of others. Triggers really are growth periods, and acknowledging them and seeing where you are growing or where the pot's being stirred, if you will. But the key ingredient is in finding or figuring out these triggers, these alert signals, the alarm system. What's making you feel like you're on shaky ground? It's the flight, freeze, uh, freeze or flight, fight or flight, freeze. And it's kind of it's really wise or ancient wisdom to really go to our origins, setting authentic guidelines based on your higher self, spirit, your intuition, instead of what's happening in this 3D earthly realm of events. You kind of pulling yourself out of that and those triggering systems. It really feels like the Matrix, quite honestly. The universe is really moving us into some very liberating spiritual territory with Saturn in Pisces. I think we're going to be liberating into something very galactic, like never seen before kind of stuff. So, really holding the line of inner peace and faith. And may the divine force be with us on this sacred day. I would affirm that I am really in my sacred chalice and I'm alchemizing myself. Be in observership if you can, so you can be in receivership, knowing we're safe, we are protected, secure in this holy process of accessing who we are authentically. So, with that, thanks for tuning in. And as always, I will see you on the other side. Go do your rituals. And yeah, I'll see you soon. Ashe, blessings.
Self going.
So there's, the only way that I know of to completely actually resolve it is to do the process that I do with women. So I work on all of those things, every belief, every chronic emotion, all of those things like control and all of those coping mechanisms, all of the reasons and things that we overthink, that we don't feel safe. I actually resolve all of them within a modality or program which is very quick, very simple, but it basically just takes us into a real life wake up call, which is sort of like a filterless state where we can actually resolve those things at the deepest level, so that when we are finished in that same session, those things are no longer an issue. So someone could go into the session with an issues of control, issues